lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Scott from the old Curiosity Shop, and I said good morning, good morning, because it's actually about 5 minutes before 9 here in the city of Philadelphia. I'm about as far east in the state of Pennsylvania as you can possibly get. I'm less than half a mile from the Pennsylvania-New Jersey state line, which I can actually walk to in about 15 minutes. But it is when people say nasty weather, that's what we've got today. Cold, ice, rain, which is going to turn into snow and blanket most of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It shouldn't be too bad here, 2 or 3 inches maybe, but then really cold ice. Who wants to deal with that? And you know, I park my truck outside on the street in a street lot, the way we do here in the city, and so I'm not going to go out there and scrape it. Well, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in my Blue Willow mug. I've lit one of my Duraflame logs over here because I'm out of firewood, but I always have some extra Duraflame logs just to take off the chill, because Old Man Winter is not finished with us yet. I can always count on my weather forecast by watching Patrick, the trusty huckster out there just outside of Chicago, and whatever he gets, it then travels across to eastern Ohio, where Will's Thrifting Ventures and Product Reviews, where he is, and then sometimes it comes down from Niagara Falls, where Dee is. So I always get my weather from one of those three, basically. And they had this a few days ago, and here it is today. Oh, I'm just chatting. It's Saturday morning, and I'm not going anywhere. Let me sip this before it gets too hot, too cold. And then in just a second, I'm going to turn the camera around because I don't want you to necessarily see me. I've got here on the windowsill, which you can't see, a big collection, probably close to 70 pieces of an earthenware pattern that you will recognize. It has been and continues to be on thousands of dinner tables across the country. Hint, hint, first made in California by Gladding and McBean. Okay, you guessed it. It's either going to be Franciscan ivy, apple, desert rose, and then there were 2 other patterns, October, and then one other were the big 5. But this is the oldest pattern. So what happened is, I don't normally deal in large amounts of dinnerware, such as this, unless they're odd pieces, serving pieces that you don't often see. But in this business, I make contacts with folks, and we help each other out. So maybe a mid-century buddy will call me up and he'll say, you know, come on over, I'm cleaning out this, that, and the third, and I don't want any of these dishes, make me an offer, they're yours, and vice versa. If I'm out and there are things that I couldn't really deal with, I'll call up one of my buddies, and they'll come over, and we help each other out in that way. So I made an offer on all of this. He was happy to take it, and I will make a few dollars on this, not a truckload, but it's fun to have, it's fun to research. It's all nice and clean and chip and crack free. So the condition really is what sent it over the top. So let's have one more sip, then we'll talk a little bit about the dates, just basic dates. This is not meant to be a comprehensive history. So we'll take a look at these, and then there's a thrift haul, and there's some other things I'm going to do today, and probably film maybe 2 or 3 videos today, so I'm going to have to change my shirt, or there will be comments. I'm kidding. I'm leaving this shirt on all day. Okay, let's get to it. Well, as you can see, there's a ton of it here, and I'm going to go through it very quickly. But I'll first start off by saying that the Franciscan apple pattern, well, let's look at the apples, actually predates the Franciscan Desert Rose by year. I believe this is 1940, the apple, and then the rose was 41. These are all approximate dates. Anyone can go and look this stuff up. You can look up the back stamps and get the exact dates. If you're interested in that, I'm going to give you rough, dates of when the back stamps date to, because we have a collection here that spans from early California right all the way up into some of the pieces made in China. I'm going to show you those and tell you how to tell the difference even if you don't look at the back stamp. But when we look at this is one of the early back stamps. It does say Franciscan made in California. It's not the earliest back stamp, but this will go back to when it was made in the USA in California against, I believe, 1941. So this is the cream and sugar that I've got here. And then we also have the butter dish. I'll only go through the marks if they are different. That's called the Flying F, and that's basically an 80s mark when we see it that way. So we're going from the 40s and the 50s into the 80s. The consistency is there because it's still being made by the same company, the same molds and all of that jazz. We have the salt and pepper shakers, gravy boat with underpants, and this is called the TV screen. Sometimes collectors say the TV screen for obvious reasons. And here we're roughly in the 60s. Now when I say that, I think it actually was like 1958 to maybe 1976 or something like that. But roughly, we're in the 60s with the TV screen. So I see we've got all the decades. There's the TV screen again on the big platter. And as I move down here, again, if the mark is different, I won't show you. I have mugs, which are fun to have. Not the coffee cup, but the coffee cup is a different shape, but these are mugs. A celery, a divided serving dish, and this one, again, there's the TV screen. Because this was in production for so long, there are a variety of pieces that can be collected. So we have berry bowls and larger, probably a cereal bowl. There's the Flying F again. And the small berry bowl for small desserts. This is really good for larger desserts. You know, apple crumble with a dip of ice cream on it. And the salad, a small, oh, there comes the snow. The rain is just now turning into snow. So the underpants, now that's a 1980s mark on that. Actually, it comes out in the 70s, the dishwasher safe and the microwavable safe. I think it first appears in about 1976. Yeah. And so there's the plate, little luncheon plate, and the bowls, the dessert bowls fit nicely on them. You could do soup in that, whatever you want. Then I've got the great big dinner plates here with the TV screen. And these are the nice big dinner plates without utensil marks. And it's nice to have serving pieces. So I have two bowls, large serving bowls that did not come with lids. And I guess these are just open sort of vegetable serving bowls. Two in this middle size. This is again the 1970s. And then a larger serving bowl. That's another mark that we see that goes into the 1980s. I think it was 1986, again, roughly about 1986, when McBean, Gladding and McBean then is bought, is that right, by not Lennox, Wedgwood. And so then it's made in England, and those pieces will have the made in England mark on the bottom, and they're still good quality. But then I think who was the crystal? Waterford, I think, then I think Waterford crystal gets Wedgwood, and then it actually goes to China. So, oy. Okay, the covered casserole dish with an American mark on it. Everything here is American made. None of this is English. None of this, I think it was in Portugal for a short while. None of this is Portuguese, and none of this is from China. This is all the American-made pieces. Lovely coffee pot. Yeah. Water pitcher. Now I know I'm born and raised in Jersey, and that word gives me away. I have corrected most of my Jersey accent, which I shouldn't say corrected most of my Jersey accent, but I can't help but say water. It doesn't even sound right to say it differently. I can't, water, I can't say it. It's water. I can't say it any other way. But that always gives me away. And I think we covered all the pieces. So there are, I think I've got 8 dinner plates, 10 dessert plates, 10 of the large dessert bowls, 8 of the little berry bowls. What you don't see here are the cups and saucers. Now, cups and saucers are the easiest to get, and they are a pain to ship. They take up more space than anything. This is a breeze because you pile them up with, bubble wrap in between, and I can make a really, I can double box these easily and ship these in a very compact way. But the cups and saucers, just like these mugs, you can imagine, these all have to be individually bubble wrapped and separated, and the boxes get really huge, and they're a little thinner, and so they're just easy to break. So I did steer clear of the cups and saucers, but everything else here, I paid $100 for all of this, but the condition on it is exceptional. It is the American made, and so I want to tell you the difference. I picked up a few of the pieces made in China just to do a comparison. So let's look at it. I'll tell you, I'd like to show you the snow. It's really pretty. Okay, the early pieces, let's go back to a television screen piece. Hope there's enough light for you to see. All these pieces are embossed. When we get to the pieces that are made in China, they're still embossed, but the relief is very shallow. And again, my light isn't the best. So you might be looking at this and saying, oh, I don't see any difference. You really have to handle it in person. The differences are subtle, and that doesn't always translate through little cameras and color settings on TVs, so trust me. The embossed pattern on this, very shallow, not very well pronounced, much more so on this, the old. Also look at the color of the apples. Very one-dimensional and flat, where on the old apples we see the brush strokes of the hand painting as well as on the leaves. And I want you to look at the brown. Again, we see variations in the color. Yeah, on the brown. This is the old American made. And in China, very flat. I don't even know if this is hand painted. There's very one-dimensional. We don't see, it's just, you can see, you can tell. Now you can mix a few of these pieces, well, also the back stamp. Now it does not say made in China on these, but it's my understanding that that is the Chinese back stamp. And so it did wind up in China, and I don't even know. I don't even know if it's still, they may still be making it in China, and they may not be. But I've got to get it photographed, all the measurements, all the listings, none of which I have done yet, but we've got a nice fire, a coffee pot, and snow. So what else is there to do? I've got more to come and in others this weekend.